Well, hey everyone, welcome back to the cabin. We've actually got some things that we're going to talk about hands-on actually today. But what I wanted to start out with, I mentioned in a recent video that if you wanted to hear the rest of the story, okay, behind some of these tales that we tell, to tune into Outpost Review, because this is our opportunity to be face-to-face with you guys and kind of talk, because it's just basically a talk channel. Anywho, the story is that we're going to start out with Patrick when he was, I think it was 10 years old. By the way, if you're new to this channel and you don't know, this is my son, Patrick.
I hope you know who I am.
He's behind the scenes a lot on the thumbnails for the videos and Instagram, Facebook, things like that.
A lot of the emails.
Right.
Yeah.
And he and Jennifer answer a lot of the comments. This is our opportunity to talk face to face. So this is where we're going to tell the rest of the story, as Paul Harvey used to say. Anyway, so what we're going to talk about today is when Patrick was about 10 years old, I think it was.
Oh man.
We went, I wanted to take him, turkey hunting and deer hunting, things like that. He had to go through a hunter safety course. And that was, I think it was a week long. So every evening we went up there, I think it was like 4 hours. So he went through this hunter safety course and they gave him a certificate, and then they gave them a patch which they could sew on their jacket, or whatever they wanted to do with it. Anyway.
By the way, this is dated March the 13th, 1999.
So what I was going to say was, before they could graduate and get their certificate, they had to qualify shooting a shotgun at some skeet out in the field. And I think that's where you got that one place that you said that we had went. You asked me if we had went there.
Yeah.
And anyway, we had to go somewhere, where it was a big open field and so forth, where the kids could go out there and do their target shooting. Yeah. Anyway, they were throwing skeet, or they had a skeet machine, I can't remember. But I was watching, the kids do that, and so I told Patrick, I just up and told him, because I wasn't really sure if it was going to happen or not, but because he had never had, shot a gun, and really...
definitely not a 20 gauge.
Right, and not at a moving target.
20 gauge at 10 years old, definitely not.
So anyway, they basically kind of told them and demonstrated on how to do it, and that they had to, be ahead of it just so much, and so forth. Anyway, I just told him, I said, well, I'll tell you what. I said, if you qualify, I said, then I will buy you a brand new 20 gauge. And I don't remember if it was 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 5 or whatever it was like that. But anyway, if it was 2 out of 3, I'll be darned if he didn't get 2 out of 3. And if it was 3 out of 5, he got 3 out of 5. Anyway, so then I had to start digging in my pocket and finding my way to the store, or to the gun shop, to buy him a new 20 gauge. And he still got it today. It's pretty cool. It's camo. It's a Mossberg, isn't it? Isn't that what we got? Mossberg. Anyway, but so there's the rest of the story. The kid actually not only passed...
I felt like Home Alone. Because I remember when I got it, I was like, oh man!
Not only did he pass the course, but then he got into my back pocket to get himself a brand new gun.
Yeah.
Anyway, but no, that was just something I had run into when I was unpacking some things here, and I thought, that would be kind of fun to tell on the review channel, and for him to, because honestly, I've hung on to that all these years. So anyway, but that is the rest of the story behind the guy right here.
Well guys, it's time for another giveaway. And I don't know if you can see the sun on my face, but it's shining right in my eyes. But anyway, we have a lot of times trouble trying to think of what we're going to give away because we give away so much stuff. But what we decided to do, Patrick, my son, he ordered me one of these backpacks. And I said, well, we could give one of those away. It's pretty nice, you know.
It's one of our backpacks.
Yeah, it says Outpost right there. It's got a pretty good sized pocket on the front right there. The zipper seems to be nice. It doesn't seem to be cheap. And then, of course, you know, a lot of my backpacks have got these. You know, I've had several in EMS, but none of them were quite this nice, I don't think. This is, it's fairly nice. It's supposed to be what color?
Tan.
Tan, desert sand, or whatever. It's got a sewn-in name tag right here that you can put your name on. It's got a nice big pocket down in here, and then it's got a place back here like for a computer, and it's got quite a bit of foam in it. And this back here is a little bit more rigid than what's on the inside that would, you know, like hold your computer. But whoop, what's this? Oh hey, look what I found. We might just give one of these away. You want one too? We might just give one of these away on our review channel. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay, so our original t-shirt, Smoky Mountain Outpost, in black with white lettering.
Yep.
We'll give this away on the review channel, and that way everybody can start spraying out. If you need, you know, to carry around your laptop, you got something to carry it in, or if you want to be
Sporting the Outpost gear.
sporting the Outpost gear, yeah.
Then you can be an OG.
Anyway, what we'll do is we'll head inside here shortly, and we'll find out who the lucky winners were for last month. By the way, if you're new to this channel, be sure and go to the website SmokyMountainOutpost.com, and you can find out all the details on how to enter these giveaways, but we do them monthly. Anyway, we'll meet you guys inside, and we'll find out who the lucky winners were for last month. Okay, I've got both channels pulled up. The first one is the review channel. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this URL, and I'm going to slide over to the random picker. We'll insert this URL, and we will get all the comments. And we'll drop down to the raffle, and we'll start. So it looks like Phil Northern Horizon, you are the winner for the review channel. And we will copy the URL for the Outpost video. Go back over to the random picker. Erase that. Insert that. And go down, and we'll get all the comments. Now we'll drop down here, and we will start the raffle. So it looks like Jane DeFew, you are the winner for the Outpost channel. Well, congratulations to you two. Be sure and send us some information at SmokyMountainOutpost@gmail.com on how we can get in touch with you and get these items ordered and get them out to you as soon as possible. We hope that you're enjoying these monthly drawings because we're enjoying giving them out. So, with that said, let's get back to the video.
Now, another thing I wanted to talk about is I had shown this on the review channel at one point, but we have a great subscriber that's been with us a long time, and he actually sent me some pieces to make like these are little drinking cups for the chickens. The only thing is, I don't think, you know, the reason I haven't put them in since then, it was colder weather. I figured that the water would freeze in here. So I didn't want it to freeze and crack these cups, so I thought, well, I'm going to have to carry water through the winter. But spring, summer, and fall, I can use these right here. Basically, these are PVC tees, and they got a little hole in them. And so you run a line in between each one of these, and then you fit this cup. I'll show you the cup here in just a second. You fit this cup on the end of it. And, you know, chickens like little small things. They're attracted to stuff like that. And this has a little yellow piece. I don't know if you can you see that in there? This little thing right back here. And what they do is they touch that and it lets out a little drop of water. Okay? And so that they can just reach in there and, okay? And I think there's, 8 of these, or 6 of them, okay? So, anyway, what we'll do is we will hook this up to a 5-gallon bucket. So what we'll do is we'll divert some water into that once we get a chance to put the guttering up that I have purchased for the outdoor kitchen and the chicken house. Where we can divert water into that 5-gallon bucket, and then of course we'll have to drill a little overflow and run a hose out into the woods. But anyway, yeah, that'll be cool because that will stop me from having to carry so much water. Of course, the hog is a little bit different story. Probably have to have one of those 250-gallon totes, you know, for him, which I took one up there the other day, by the way, and I bought one, and so we may be hooking that up there off of the chicken house, because I believe that there's probably enough there not only to do the chickens, but you know, it may do the hog, depends on how much it rains, but may do the hog a couple of days too. So, but now that we've got the new UTV, it's not a big deal to go to my sister's house.
It is handy.
And get, you know, the water and can drive it right up the hill.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of you all, you know, when I had sent some aerial photos out, we did get a comment, well, we didn't realize that the cabin was built on a hill. So, my point is,
Smoky Mountains.
a lot of this is a good 15% grade, okay, and even steeper than that. Well, you will see once we start digging down there and filling in, how much we have to fill up to just to get it close to being level, where you still may have a slope on it, because you do want some drainage. Mm-hmm. But you know, like this house, this corner over here is probably sitting on 8 or 10 foot,
yeah,
okay, of fill, but it was packed, you know, as you go. You strip all the topsoil off, and then you just start packing earth against earth. You know, you spread a little, and you track back over it, back and forth, spread a little bit more, and just keep going and just build it right up. But anyway, all right, so yeah, we have the best people following this channel, because we had a subscriber send us that chainsaw to give away. Yep. Right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Would have never believed that, but it happened. Okay. He reached out and he said, you know, hey, I want to donate this. Well, that same person is the one that sent these. Okay. And I'll tell you, and like the hot sauce I got out there that I was using, you know, these
dogs,
huh?
The dogs that you use, all down
Yeah, the
wood.
dogs, or the bench vices or bench clamps, whatever you want to call them. These people, you know, just out of the goodness of their heart, they send stuff, you know, and things that I would have never thought about, you know. So we really greatly appreciate that. You know, we never expect anything. Matter of fact, we do monthly giveaways because we like giving. Anyway, but yeah, we have some of the best people following the channel. Oh, the stained glass.
Yep.
You know, I've still got to put that in out there. I get behind on so many things.
Some people have even come down and spent time and given their time to just help do stuff around the property, which is like, you know, generosity is.
The young man that came and helped me work on the fence, putting around the raised bed garden. Okay, the fellow that came, great guy that came from Indiana and spent a week here. Okay, helping me work on the outdoor toilet. Red Bush Primitive, by the way, great guy.
He even did some classes also on our channel about some different little bushcraft stuff.
But I tell you what, we've come, you know, to be very close and think a lot, you know, about these individuals that have just, you know, reached out, and not only you all have sent all the comments, you know. A lot of people send the comments, the same people all the time, and we begin to, you know, recognize that name and kind of feel like, you know, hey, they're our neighbor, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, it just, you know, from the comments to the things that get sent to, you know, whatever. You know, we really appreciate all the support that you give us, you know, in watching the videos, because that's the work that we actually go through to produce that, to bring it to you guys. And we couldn't think of any better way than our monthly giveaways to let you all know that. Okay, the other thing was, just out of the goodness of his heart, he decided that he would order me one of our backpacks. Okay?
Me.
And this is what it looks like. All right. This one actually is a, what, tan color?
Yeah, it's like the same color. If any of you guys have seen like the Smoky Mountain Outpost shirt that he wears, you know, on any of the channels, this one in particular, it's like this like light tan cream color, and this is a really similar color.
A little darker though, but you know, I bought, or I had given to me actually, a couple of different backpacks through my career in EMS, and they weren't near this sturdy. Okay, this is built a little bit, actually quite a bit better than those. This is actually a pretty durable, and it's got lots of foam in the back of it. Okay, since it goes against your back, and it just seems to be made very well. So I was actually impressed, and you know, it's got
little place you can put
a pocket in the back for like your computer if you want, you know. Name tag built into it back there. Really nice, actually.
It's got one of our Outpost logos on it.
Yeah, right there on the front.
Outpost.
And it's got the pocket zip.
Yeah, pocket in the front. It says established 2019. That's when we started our channel.
Okay, now I've got to cheat. I've got to put my eyes on. Okay?
You can find that in our store, by the way.
See my eyes? Yeah, the backpack is in the store.
Yeah. You can get it in white and black. You can get it in tan. We have duffel bags.
And he said he was going to come up with a couple new designs too.
Yep.
So you guys be sure and help me hold him to that. All right. Actually, I have a subscriber that has been with us for quite some time, and felt like they needed to reach out to us, and they did. And I guess when I was talking about the kitchen, I had mentioned that, you know, I was going to use deer antlers for the handles, and I had them laid out there showing how I was going to do that, and but I was one antler short. So they reached out and they sent some pictures and said, you know, would I like to have those to finish my project? And I'm like, well, sure. And then we had some more communication go back and forth, and then they said something about, you know, could you use others? And I said that I would had all different kinds of projects that they would probably come in really handy for. And I'm here to tell you that we received a box that has 8 sets, okay? 1, 2.
Look how cool these are.
3. 4. 5.
2009.
6.
This must have been the one that was on Rudolph.
7.
You can tell how many we have.
8.
This one's pretty cool. Holy cow.
and a half. And then we have another bonus. This is, okay, the second bear skull, okay, that we're going to have here at the Outpost.
Speaking of bear, I finally got my little necklace. I don't know if you can see how large that is. It's huge. I don't have the smallest hands in the world, so you can see how massive of a claw that is. Claw. Singular claw. Huge. So, cool. I like to hang mine a little bit lower than he does. That's just my thing, but it is dope.
Yeah, he got here this morning, and I was interested in seeing his reaction when I gave it to him, because I wasn't sure if he would wear it. I told Jennifer that I thought that he would. But anyway, so he had seen pictures of it, and he's seen me make it on the video, so it actually wasn't a surprise to him. But anyway, yeah, I tell you what, I am just so tickled to have those. You know, I can see those as, you know, maybe gun racks. I can see those like hanging in the bathroom to hang your robe on.
Yeah.
You know, your bathrobe, or maybe a towel and a washcloth, or whatever. I can see these, you know, toilet paper holder. There you go. You know, just about anything that you would want to do, you could do it with a set of antlers, you know, or a single antler. You know, like if you're making a handle for your knife. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, yep, they're very valuable. So, thank you so much. That actually came from New York. So, thank you so much for that. And we really appreciate that. And as well as, you know, the big heart, you know, that people have to reach out and do that. They, just like when we were sent those bench vices.
Yep.
This fella had actually been watching me do this and probably thought, why doesn't he have a set of those? Well, I wondered the same thing when I got them. Anyway.
People see a need and they took care of it.
They took care of it, yeah. And so, yeah, I really do appreciate that when they see something, you know, and it helps. Because I'll tell you what, I have used those for all different kinds of projects. And I'm sure that those chickens every day will certainly love these cups, you know. And when you see me do, how about the handle on the outhouse
Yep.
is a deer antler, you know. So there are a lot of different projects that I'll be able to
Yep.
use those on. And, you know, as they come up, I will go to my little supply box and I will fix that project right up.
We had some people bring up the fact of, so now you know why they call the Smoky Mountain Smoky, because we've been kind of including a little bit more drone footage. So if you wanted to kind of go into,
The reason I didn't use that drone, actually, it had a chip in the wing, which is actually a crack. And one thing you don't want to happen is one of those $1,100 machines to just take off going where it's not supposed to go. So I was kind of afraid to fly it, but I didn't know how to take it off, and finally I YouTubed that and saw how they took it off and was able to replace it. But then I was flying, you know, I'm doing this on my phone, right? And it's such a tiny screen, and when you're out in the sun it's hard to see. Anyway, I backed into a limb on a tree, and of course it has, you know, lights and it vibrates and everything, but it was moving fairly fast when I did it. And so now I have a second crack. So I have another blade. We will replace it, but Patrick, since then, he has ordered some more blades to replace
4
that.
sets.
But to answer the question, the reason that we have a lot of fog here. You know, I'm not sure if it's coming from the heat of the earth and the coolness in the air, or the humidity that we have, because our humidity, you know, most of the time is like 80% and higher. So it's quite humid here. Of course, you know, it doesn't bother me because we're used to it, right? So, but generally there's a lot of fog that will settle in these valleys, in these little pockets. And now sometimes it's higher, but it will settle, and that's where you get to see, you know, you're kind of driving through the mountains and you drive into it and you drive out of it and you drive into it and you drive out of it. When it's a lot of time in the fall, it will stay foggy up to sometimes, you know, maybe 9 or 10 o'clock before it burns off. Actually, the sun comes out and burns it off. But
Sometimes it can be really thick too.
yeah, there's been some major accidents in our state as far as fog goes. There was a major pileup between here and I think it was Cleveland at one point, you know, in time. That was, I don't know, 50 cars. I can't remember how many. It was way up there.
Cleveland, Tennessee.
Yeah. And then there's some other areas, you know, that are bad for that too. But anyway, that's why they call it the Smoky Mountains, because we have a lot of low-hanging fog, and it appears like the mountains are on fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
In North Carolina, they call it the Blue Ridge. Next question, it says, are there any plans for a root cellar?
Yep. I've mentioned that many times, but yeah, we will be working on a root cellar. You know, for my needs, it doesn't have to be very big. I was basically thinking on 8 by 10. Of course, we'll make the hole larger because I'll have to be able to work around it, you know. But I was thinking about 8 by 10. But you all leave me some comments, and I mentioned this on the last video. Leave me some comments. How would you dress up the front of your root cellar if you were going to make one? And you're basically going to cover over the top, but you have a face. What would you do to jazz it up? How would you make the entrance or the front of your root cellar look?
Somebody said, did you ever consider getting a stove put in so that you will have 4 burners or even 6 burners to cook on? We were just talking about this.
Well, I just got the kitchen cabinets put in, right? And I will add to the utilities in the kitchen. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to pop a hole through the wall somewhere, figure out where we're going to set a tank up here, a propane tank. I'm going to have to figure out where I'm going to dig the line to. or from, and I'm gonna have to do that, and then we're gonna have to get the stove. But we had already and have been looking at propane stoves, and we just, I didn't want one that had all that digital stuff. I just want one with knobs. That's it. That's all I need. Turn the burner on, turn it off. I don't need a timer. If I need one, I'll use one like Grandma did, where she turned the timer and it went off. Or, set my phone with an alarm to go off. But anyway, I didn't want all of that stuff that would just drain juice, on my solar power when I get it here.
Just create a spark and go.
Exactly. And now, see, they all come and have to be hooked up for the spark purpose.
Yep.
Okay, you have to hook it up for that, but I don't need other stuff on. But I wanted one, originally we were just going to get a top and put in there. But then we decided to just go ahead and get the oven too. And so we found one that's not too expensive, actually, that is set up just like we want it.
Yep.
So that's in the plans, but I didn't have the cabinets put in at the time, didn't know where they were going to end up. And the same thing with the refrigerator. I have a refrigerator. It's up at my sister's house. It's in her garage, so that's where I keep all my meat and things like that. But I hadn't got that far yet. Just like this power right here, haven't really had a high priority for it, just to be able to turn the switch on. I'm using these power banks that I've got, and I'll tell you what, these are nice to have, aren't they?
They are nice to have.
Because I'm operating everything just off of these small power banks. Of course, my needs aren't that great, but the cool thing is I didn't have to rush and get all this done, because honestly, folks, I've mentioned this many times, I'm on a fixed income. Okay, this whole cabin is paid for, all right, because I've been doing it as I go along. These are going to be quite expensive, as well as the propane appliances. Okay, they're a little bit more expensive than electrical appliances. But what I'm going to do is I'll do these a little at a time, what the highest priority is going to be. For example, my bedroom, this room, and the kitchen. Okay, the other areas, I would like to be able to turn on a switch or two, because I know that when I go and purchase all of these, it's going to be quite expensive, because I had to have, 38 of them? Just these right here. Then you talk about your switches, and then I've got the sconce outlets all the way around that we're going to have to do for the black pipe, which is not cheap. We're going to have to do for that. So that, just these receptacles and wall switches and stuff like that is going to be quite expensive, because I went ahead and wired it like a normal house. Okay, even though I didn't need that, but I went ahead and did it anyway, as I was building, because it'd be hard to go back and add it if you wanted it that way.
Yeah.
But it just gives you outlets, everywhere you turn, where you don't have a lot of cords. Like I do have one cord, to power another light, but it just keeps you from having stuff like that, laying around. So with that, and all the other things that we're trying to get hooked up in here that are the most urgent right now. That little stove that I've got over there, it's not real urgent that I get a big stove right now, but I would like to have an oven. I told him, I said I could bake a few things, So we were talking about, maybe looking at go ahead and getting the oven and putting it in here, but like I said, we're down to the point now where here at the Homestead, we have major purchases. We have solar, okay, or we have power needs that need to be taken care of. Water, okay, that's going to be quite expensive, because I don't know if you really stop and think about it. You're looking at probably between $2,000 and $3,000 for a 1,500 gallon tank. Maybe find some from some companies 2,000 gallon tank, or maybe a 2,500. You don't want to just go and buy the cheapest thing out there, because of the quality. You want to make sure that you're getting your money's worth. So you got to investigate a little bit, but on an average, I'm just saying. And then you're going to have to dig a ditch between here and there. Unless you do it by hand, you got a cost involved in that. You got all the pipe to go up there. You've also got a tank that's going to have to sit down here to be able to pump up to that tank up top if we're going to gravity feed it back. You're going to have a solar pump to go in down here to be able to pump it up there. Some sort of crude filtration as it comes off the roof going into something finer before it enters the tank up there, because you got to remember, this isn't for I don't need it potable drinking water because I buy mine. I just want it for the sink, for the bathtub, and for washing clothes. That's it. So I'm not really concerned about filtering it. I'm not concerned about really doing anything else to that other than having it for those needs right there. So it depends on what your needs are and how you want to go about setting yourself up. Different things that we could do to try to put power in up here. But I think we were looking at some systems that were around $3,000 and trying to look at the reviews to see what they got.
Yeah.
But it wasn't anything great, but my needs are not even average. When they do these figures that they put on there, they will do them based on the average family, right? Well, I don't have that. Based on the average family use, like including microwaves and hair dryers, I don't have those things. Okay, so my use is going to be very minimal, so I don't need anything great. But we were looking at something that was around $3,000, and we're going to check into it some more, and that may be where we start. It's kind of like a kit, and if that doesn't quite fit my needs, all we got to do is add to it a little bit. If it's more than what my needs are, well, great, we figured it out, right? But yeah, things are slowly coming together here. We've got things that we work with, such as the cost factor, the priority factor, the time factor, factors whether am I going to need help, to be able to do it. Do we have the right tools available to be able to do it? If not, how much is that going to cost? So on and so forth. So we have to take all those into consideration. And like I said, putting receptacles on here really wasn't a big priority at the time, because I'm happy with what I've got going on right now. But we were talking about tying a few of them in. That way I would have them where I spend the most time, like either editing a video. I could go ahead and fix that in over there, and possibly in there in the kitchen, and then possibly in here in the bedroom. So
yeah. Someone asked, I just thought it was kind of funny because we had just been talking about this, the power company coming through the area. Have you ever thought about getting someone to come and chip all your wood? Lots of good wood chips. We've been trying to spread wood chips around the yard.
The power company came through here trimming the power route, and you've probably seen me spreading that on video, but I got two humongous piles of wood chips sitting down there. I just need to take the tractor, go down and run back and forth and bring them up here. But yeah, no, I do plan on where I'm going to put topsoil to start my landscaping. I'm going to bed that with wood chips on the bottom, because I know it won't take long for that to deteriorate, and I don't think that it would hurt the grass any. Yeah, we're going to have plenty enough topsoil, when we get done stripping this area down here, to be able to landscape and do a whole lot of stuff. So,
A whole lot of dirt.
Yeah. But the wood chips, they really were nice, because I wasn't walking in mud even when it was raining. Okay, I was actually walking on a layer of wood chips.
Yeah, it's much nicer. It's much nicer visually too. And if you're not from here, or you've never walked on red clay, when it's wet, you have no idea.
You might as well be like you were ice skating. Okay, because it is slick. But anyway, guys, we're going to have to go ahead and end the video here. We really appreciate you stopping by and hanging out with us. We thought it would be cool to do an evening review video. But guys, we do appreciate it. Patrick, my daughter, Jennifer, and myself, we thank you so much. Be sure, if you are new to this channel, to go check out our main channel, Smoky Mountain Outpost. That's where we do all the work, and we zip it there. Most of 98%, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, but guys, thanks a whole lot. Hope you have a great evening. Take care. We look forward to seeing you back up here at the cabin again next time.